Hello, hello. Yeah, take this out of the stand here. Yeah, so similar to Jay and Becca, I found out that I was performing in this 2 to 3 hours ago, and unlike the two of them getting Oreo McFlurries, I escaped from the human-sized rat, and actually tried to write a bit, so we'll see if I remember it. But very excited to be here, as are my fellow performers. We are a dandy and diverse group of white males. I mean, we really have it all. We got guys who wear glasses, guys who don't wear glasses, couple juniors, couple sophomores, blondes, brunettes, diverse. Anyway, I'm like the cool uncle of Ridiculum because I just turned 23, which makes me feel very ancient on this campus. And I didn't think that being 23 would affect me as much as it has. I was like, 21 is like the last big birthday of your youth. And then it's just all the like 5s and 10s as an adult, 25, 30, 35, 40, whatever. But 23 came in and was like, I'm gonna take you out of the Matrix. And I'm gonna send you into the Twilight Zone. Because it's been a whirlwind of a month. And what I realized is I'm having anxiety about being 23 because in like 2 months I'm gonna be older than my parents were when they got married. Which is weird. I'm like, what? How? Why? I mean, I know why. I have a basic knowledge of time. But like, and it's like, I feel so old now that that's gonna happen. And I'm also like, why did my parents get married so young? Because I can't fathom getting married in 2 months. Although if my girlfriend like came up to me tomorrow and was like, hey, you wanna get married? I would absolutely say yes. I mean, I'm all for it. Yeah. She's great, she's part of the bit. She's not gonna be happy when she watches the video. But yeah, so, I forget. Girlfriend. Oh yeah. She's not going to be proposing anytime soon because I made her cry recently from anxiety talking about the future. She's not going to be happy that I told you that either. But you know, this is the life of a aspiring comics girlfriend. Is you get put into the bits whether you want to or not. But she's great, and I can't even really blame her for like worrying about the future because she's dating me, and I would have a lot of anxiety too if I was dating a guy who decided he wanted to be a professional actor like in his 20s. Because it feels a little late to the game, but we're going for it. And I actually just finished work on my, like the first ever show / film that I'm gonna be in. Thank you. A lot of new experiences, a lot of interesting experiences. I injured my shoulder 3 days into filming and was kind of like toughing it out the whole time, like football players with concussions. But I think the most interesting experience for me was I got to wear nail polish and makeup for the first time, which I figured I would probably hate the makeup, and I did. But the nail polish, I was like, I'm gonna give this a chance. I'm gonna see if I vibe with it. A lot of guys wear nail polish. A lot of guys wear makeup too. But a lot of guys wear nail polish. It's not an uncommon thing to see. So I was like, you know, maybe if I'm vibing, I'll keep it on after filming. And my girlfriend, by the way, put the nail polish on for me. She's a champ. I just want to make sure that's clear. Love you, Juliet. Please don't be mad at me for putting you in the bit. Yeah, so like the nail polish was, just about dry after being put on, and I look at it and I'm trying to see if I vibe with it, and I'm like, I feel nothing but a weird contempt for my own hand. And so needless to say, after filming was over, I had my first experience with nail polish remover. And holy cow, I am so glad that when I was 5 years old, I broke my nose, because my sense of smell is just bad enough that the nail polish remover stench was bearable. And I'm like, how is nail polish something that smells like, nail polish smells good, and nail polish remover does not. But on the positive note, nail polish remover is amazing at removing nail polish. I was stunned. First I had to Google how to use it. And it was like, use a cotton ball, and I didn't have one of those. So I used a makeup sponge, and I felt very innovative. This is probably why my girlfriend has anxiety about the future, because she's like full-time working as an engineer, and then she gets home from work and calls me, and I'm like, hey, did you know that nail polish remover removes nail polish? I just found that out. Who knew? That's a solid ad. Yeah, so that was an experience. The whole being in a show was very interesting and very fun. But I'm a little worried that I'm already becoming something of a theater snob. And I really don't want to be, because I like to mock snobbish people. Because it's very easy to do. And I can't do that if I become all snobby, like, I don't really like nail polish, but I'll wear it for the sake of the craft. That would be bad if I became that, and I will do everything in my power to avoid it. Although I will wear nail polish for the sake of the craft, as I have already proven. Slap Happy, debuting in 2 weeks, by the way. That's the show. It's gonna be good. It's a shameless plug there. Anyway, making fun of snobbish people is fun. And no one is more fun to make fun of than people who have jobs that don't really matter or contribute to society in any way. Mostly movie critics. Yeah. There's really no point to them. But my personal favorite are sports writers for ESPN and places like that. Because anyone could do that job. But they think they're so cool. Be like a guy who's like, I watched the Super Bowl and I've been enlightened, and I must write this article so that everyone can see why this Super Bowl was so meaningful. And I'm like, we all watched the Super Bowl. It wasn't that great. What could you have possibly found out that none of the rest of society found? And the problem is they write these deep philosophical articles about the meaning of life based on a sporting event, and they give them the worst headlines that make me just not read the article. It's a headline like, why the Tampa Bay Buccaneers won the Super Bowl and how they did it. And I'm like, I don't need to read that. Why did they win the Super Bowl? Because they scored more points than Kansas City. How did they do it? By getting more points than Kansas City. And I'm sure they're trying their best to be creative or whatever. The article says something like, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers won the Super Bowl because of excellent moves made in the offseason and the dynamic power of friendship and harmony and a belief in God. And I'm like, they just scored more points than the Kansas City Chiefs. They really don't need to go into all this. But then they're like, they keep writing the article, and then I'm like, oh, yeah. But at the end, it's comforting that they're like, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers won because when they were all 20 years old and aspiring athletes. Their girlfriends got over their anxiety about the future and decided to stick with them. And that's the kind of support they needed. That's all I got for you guys. Thank you so much.